It's Queen Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. So I got a message from a lot of my brothers, particularly Aquarius guys, but some other guys too. They were not Aquarius. And they wanted me to tell them why they need to feel anything. Why do they need to understand vulnerability? Why do they need emotion and feelings at all? And most of them have been cut off or trying to avoid them for a very long time. In some cases, longer than it would is imagine could even be possible. And they want me to know why they should even consider changing that. And I'm like, it's not healthy for you to go walking around with a rock where your heart should be. It's not healthy. And for a long time, it has been encouraged, and it's been encouraged by men and women. We've socialized men to be hard, to not be penetratable, to think that it makes them look soft or weak if they feel anything or, are upset about anything. And what we've done is we've created generations of tyrants. And it's not just men that uphold it's not just men that uphold these ideals, it's women too. I've heard women say, I can't stand no soft ass dude, don't be crying around me. I've heard women say stuff like that. And I'm like, but it's unhealthy to repress and suppress your emotions. But still, our societies continue to encourage it. So what I say is that we need to encourage something different. We know this doesn't work. How do we know it doesn't work? Look at what it's done to society. Men and women encouraging other men and young boys to be devoid of their feelings, to be disconnected from their feelings, to not understand or even feel their feelings, has caused problems in relationships, because now you can't connect with the person that you're with. Even if you want to, you can't connect properly with your children. And what does this do? It doesn't just bother the men and these, kids. It bothers everything. And it has taken a toll and takes a toll on our communities. This is not healthy behavior. And I know that many of you fight against that because it's what you've been taught. It's what you've been taught to do. It's how you've been taught to think. It's how you've been taught to feel. It's how you've been taught to act. But if you really sit down and do something simple like read a therapy book, or something, Google it or something, you'll see that doing that with your feelings, walking around hard all the time, I don't feel nothing, I don't think nothing, I'm good, I'm cool, all the time, and never getting in tune with your emotions. If you just take your time and Google it, you'll see it's unhealthy. It causes cancer. It causes heart disease. It causes all kinds of different problems that go on inside the body that are stress related. It's unhealthy. It's unhealthy physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. It's unhealthy. So it's holding you back. Anything that's keeping you unhealthy is holding you back in that way. It's keeping your families unhealthy. Our family's unhealthy because we're all a part of this. It's a circle of life, It's keeping our communities unhealthy, So that has to change. It's not the only thing that needs to change, but that's one of the things that needs to change because it helps perpetuate this cycle of negativity, dysfunction, and violence. So before we're going to be able to pull ourselves up, We have to come to a space where we're ready to get real about our emotions, where we're ready to get real about dealing with our emotions. And it's not just men that have to do this. I'm just speaking on the men because the men cornered me and wanted me to answer the question. So I'm answering it. You asked, I'm going to give you the real deal. It's unhealthy. It's unhealthy for any of us to live like that. And I know that some of you are in your 30s or 30s and 40s and you're older and you've lived like this for your whole life. So now I'm saying you need to be open to being vulnerable. You need to be open to dealing with your feelings. You need to look at and address what's hurting you. I know that language to you is like, what? Wait, what? But if you want to continue living in a manner that's healthy, is something you need to look at and think about for yourself, for your families, for your communities, for your women. Some of your women are writing me bitching about how they can't get through to you. You're like a fucking wall. They can't talk to you. They can't get through to you. You don't understand what they're saying. You're constantly fighting about stuff that could pretty easily be worked out if you're open to being vulnerable. So that's what I'm saying, brothers. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is that it's time for all of us to get healthier. And some of the emotional, mental, spiritual, and even physical, even in that, our communities are getting into that, But my point is that it's time for us all to look at ways to get healthier. And that's one way that has gone unaddressed for a long time. And when I bring it up, my brothers look at me like I'm crazy. But we got to. We have to. If we want to have a better world, we have to create it. You see? And you can't create a better world, better society, better conditioning, better education. You can't create better still holding on to the things that are dysfunctional. See, we keep the good ways of our ancestors. We keep the positive ways of tradition. We keep the goodness from the past. But we let go of what is toxic and what doesn't work. And men walking around not feeling nothing, not being in tune with themselves does not work. It doesn't work for you. It doesn't work for the community. It doesn't work for our children. It doesn't work. So when something doesn't work, what do? Something new. So that's why I said that, brothers. Not to come at you, I ain't even want to preach at you. I was just trying to tell you, and y'all kept yelling at me about it. So this is my response. You wanted it, you asked for it, with me, be careful what you ask for. Okay? All right. I hope that helps. Listen, guys, thank you so much for watching my video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you know somebody who's questioning these same things, pass this video on to them and tell them to please jump into the discussion in the comments section. We all want to do better. It's 2019. We all want to be all the way up. Likewise, if you would like to get a tarot reading, please email me for an appointment. If you would like to send me a gift, I'll leave my PayPal. I'll also leave my Amazon wish list. And if you want to ask a question, for Asking Aquarius, you can email that to me or you can drop it underneath this video because I read all the comments too. Okay, guys, thank you so much and come back soon because if you have to ask somebody, you might as well ask an Aquarius. See you later.